Welcome to Xtra presented by VDG Sports. I am your host, Vince Douglas Gregory. No filter. Very censored. Noobs, thank you for giving me a chance. Thank you for giving me an opportunity. That's all I ever asked for. That's all I ever want. And I'll continue to say this at the beginning. I'll continue to do that. I will. And if you don't know the reasoning behind the beginning intro mantra, I'd suggest you go some seasons back or continue and find out from a reg, or ask the person in front of you or behind you or to the side, and they will let you know. They will. I think we'll pull the curtain back and give a little insight into self-motivation and two key things, two key principles that I think somehow get misconstrued, or people just willfully, I should say, ignore. Regs, we back at it again. Regs, we do what we do. Regs, this feels like every single day. It ain't every single day, though. It just feels that way because we got this special, unique bond that we share. Sharing is caring. But one moment, one time, somebody's going to come up with it. And when they do, we'll just retroactively say that what it was. Self-motivation. I definitely mentioned this in the past once before. I don't know how in depth I went, though. I am going back and reviewing some of the historical documents and listening and intaking some of the information that I've already put out there and making sure that I'm not regurgitating, repeating the same stuff. And if I am, I'm adding more to it, and I'm not just hitting you with the same old, even though the historical document is there. The receipts are there. And with self-motivation, I did touch on this, but I didn't go as in depth as I would like to go. And self-motivation for me does not mean that you are always on. You are always motivated regardless. You're just always turned up. You're always turned on. You always have something that's driving you. I'd say for me, that's a hard no, and that's definitely being intellectually dishonest. And I'm gonna continue. I am going to continue to be a truth teller here. I am going to tell the truth, even if I have to sing with my bird-like voice, even if I have to make my chest pop and dance and do a two-step, not inside the G-Rod. And in the G-Rod is my safe space. The G-Rod is my happy place. The G-Rod is my happy zone. The G-Rod is my happiness. When I'm singing, dancing, and making my chest pop and doing what it do. Don't worry. Don't fret, peeps or noobs. My foot is never bouncing around the pedal. And I don't have to tell you which one either. I don't have to tell you which one. On that, I'm just going to say, use your imagination. Use your imagination. The thing about self-motivation, it's fuel. Where necessarily do you get the fuel from? And for me, being self-motivated, I get the fuel from inside. I get the fuel from inside is one place, but you don't always have that fuel inside. But that doesn't mean that you aren't self-motivated, or you just burn out, or you just don't have it in you to keep on pushing past certain limits or reaching goals or obtaining whatever it is you want to do. No, 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 no. That just means, for me, sometime when you're on empty, you take a break, you rest up, you get your bearings again. Whether or not that's you getting more information, getting more data, getting more things to help you out along the way so you can continue. So you're just driven and you're driving yourself in another direction until you have the wherewithal to proceed on your ultimate mission, your ultimate goal. In addition to all of that, you also create fuel when you're self-motivated. I know you heard this before, and this is the I know, ha ha, and not the I know, he he. There's a difference. There is a difference, noobs. I would give you the Vince's notes on the difference, but if you keep coming back, you'll figure out the difference. You'll know the difference, and then you'll just be a reg like the rest of us. And it's okay then. It is okay. You create fuel. You create fuel, whether it's you're burning off the fuel of negativity, you're burning off the fuel that you created in your imagination, you're burning on something, whether it's your own voice or your own thoughts that you're just burning on. In other words, figure out what fuels you or what kind of fuel you burn off. Me, I burn off of just about any, but I get more bang for my buck when it's coming from a negative place. That negative energy, those naysayers, those haters, even though I don't ask for it, even though I don't want it, that is like premium food. That is like premium food, premium fuel, premium everything. When I get some of that in my tank, I am going nonstop, and not to prove them wrong. I'm just utilizing that to give me the extra oomph, to give me the extra drive, to give me the extra gear and level to go past. When I want to stop, I can't stop. When I don't want to continue anymore, I got this in the back of my mind, in the back of my head. I need to keep going. And that's a different kind of level. That's not something I'd suggest you to start off with. I'd suggest you don't go that direction, period, because it takes a special kind of individual to be able to utilize that and just burn it and have it come out in a good way, or burn it and have it actual push you or actual give you the energy, give you the desired outcome. Because that negative energy, that negative fuel, that negative stuff, it can take you under if you ain't built for that. If you ain't built for that, that is a recipe for disaster. If you ain't built for that, you're going to be like me, blowing up engines, master of the engine, destroyer, blower upper. You're going to have all of that, but not for the real engines, but the engines within inside of you, the motivation within inside of you. You're going to not be able to do what you normally do or want to do because of the negativity and the hate and all of the other things will drag you down and put you in some kind of place. Don't fret. Don't worry. I'm not going to say it's normal. I'm not going to say it's abnormal, because I truly don't know how you are built or what you can handle. But if that takes you away from what you naturally and normally do, don't do it. Stay away from it. Stay away from it. Try to get better. Try to improve. Try to figure out what works best for you, and then go from there, and maybe just add something new here or there. Test the waters and see how you operate within said environment. But just going in, don't do it. Don't do it. It will eat you alive. Especially you need some kind of, or you depend on positive reassurance, positive affirmations, and things to that nature. The negative energy and the negativity is the complete opposite of that. I use that as fuel. And when I don't have that, I create my own. So I'm saying to myself, I am not doing this well. This is a bad spot, or and I use that. I've managed to get it down to a science. I've managed to utilize the art form properly, because at one point I was not utilizing it properly. I didn't understand. I didn't really have a good holding on it. And it was destroying me from a completely different side. Not that the negativity was bringing me down and anything like that. No, 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 no. I was just using that fuel, and I was just burning my poor little self out because I was seeking perfection and wanting perfection and needed to be perfect. And then just going and going and going and going. This is not good enough, not good enough. So it was like a vicious cycle. It just kept feeding itself. It kept feeding itself, getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until you don't have the energy anymore, until you're just extremely tired, until you just realize that you're not accomplishing, you're not reaching or setting out your ultimate goal or coming even close. And then you just keep going and keep going and keep going. And you're missing everything. You're missing the small things. You're missing all of the leaps and bounds that you took to actually get to the position and spot that you're at. Because you're you're chasing this unattainable goal, and it's putting you not only in a bad place physically, it's putting you in a bad place mentally, because how are you ever going to get there? And I'm not the type of person where I just actively go out and try to compete with somebody else. I'm always competing with myself. So I'm competing with myself, and I'm seeking or wanting perfection and not getting there, and seeing stuff that I'm not doing properly or where I would like or want to be. It was a vicious cycle. It was a vicious cycle, but I can mention that now. I can talk about that now. I can bring it up because I am no longer seeking the perfection. I'm just looking for a better version of myself. I understand the nuances. I understand the small steps, the medium steps, and the bigger steps. And I have an appreciation for it all. However, there are moments and there are times where I do need to be grounded, and I do need to take a step back and view and appreciate the present and where I'm at. Sometimes I do miss that because I'm constantly in the loop. I'm constantly on the machine. I'm constantly in the game, so to speak. So there are moments where I do have to take steps back. There are moments where I do have to just figure out how to relax, figure out how to rest, figure out how to be comfortable with doing absolutely nothing. Be comfortable with being turned off. Be comfortable with the uncomfortable and not doing anything, not accomplishing anything, not moving forward or having some kind of growth is an uncomfortable and tough place and tough spot for me to be at. And so I had to learn that, and even learning that and even having the knowledge I have now about that, there's still times and there's still moments where I need to be reminded. And it's a good thing I have a good circle of people around me and in my orbit. And also just putting in mechanisms, fail-safe mechanisms to let me know when I'm going too far and I actually need to take some steps back and I actually need to take a deep breath and look around. Take a deep breath and look around and have an appreciation for everything, the small things, the small things. And this is self-motivation. And the self-motivation doesn't come from the outside. This is all this is just me getting up and wanting to do something, me getting up and wanting to accomplish something, wanting to be a difference, make a difference, or it just depends. There is no set in stone entity or no set in stone weight or moment. It's just the fuel is always there. It's just that what am I using the fuel for? And when the fuel isn't there, or when I need the high octane fuel, or when I need the premium fuel, for me, that is creating something or just having those naysayers or haters and using that as the fuel. But regardless, that is for the premium. It happens on occasion, but it's not necessarily me with rabbit ears and caring to a certain extent of what peeps say. Nah, I ain't built that way. I ain't built that way. If I was, I would have probably been, I probably wouldn't have to leave the house ever. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. Be sure to check out the new, improved website at xtra.vdgsports.com. That is xtra.vdgsports.com. There's a YouTube as well. Yeah, YouTube. Everything is there. Like, subscribe, share, basically do whatever it is you do there. Still trying to figure that one out. As you probably already know, this episode is not being sponsored by VinceDouglasGregory.com. VinceDouglasGregory.com is where you can keep up with me, my whereabouts, my well-being, basically all things Vince. Yeah, all things Vince. Noobs, thank you once again for giving me the time and listening. Regs, you still ain't getting it. Peace out.